So in the world of health and disease, there's the idea of a cure, right? That you can do certain things, take certain substances, treatments, whatever, and cure disease. And in this process, a lot of people attribute curative properties to foods. So, for example, when people hear about a fruit-based diet, a fruitarian diet, a raw vegan diet, even just the idea of a vegan diet, a lot of people look at it as being a cure for certain diseases. While in reality, what's really going on is just that there's nothing special about fruit. It's just that it doesn't cause any problems. Suppose you have, some digestive disorder like colitis or Crohn's or, various digestive diseases, or even just cancer of the colon, or really diabetes, all kinds of diseases really, and then you switch to a fruit-based diet. What happens? Well, typically those diseases will heal. You no longer have an irritable bowel. You no longer have diabetes. You are suddenly cured, and of course you attribute the curative effects to the fruit. I was cured by eating a raw vegan diet, people say. And although in practice that is true, I was cured eating a raw vegan diet. My depression was cured eating a raw vegan diet. My diabetes was cured eating a low-fat raw vegan diet. But there's nothing special about fruit, really. There's nothing curative about the food itself, and that's what people think. People tend to look at it as some kind of magic, and this is not a good thing, because for people who understand, okay, that's okay. But for people who don't understand, like most people, they sort of, when they hear you say, if you go up to your friend who has diabetes and you tell them, oh, you should eat a low-fat raw vegan diet, it'll cure your diabetes. They're like, there's millions of dollars being spent on research on diabetes. There's doctors in white coats in laboratories, and they got microscopes, and they got so much money and funding, and they're trying to figure out a cure for cancer, a cure for diabetes, etc. And you're coming here and telling me that the cure is just bananas? And that makes them a little bit skeptical. How can bananas, something as common as a banana or any food, be curing such a problem as cancer, for example, which is very serious? Well, it doesn't. It doesn't cure cancer. Bananas, they don't cure diabetes. What they do, though, is that they don't cause diabetes. They don't cause cancer. When you're eating grilled meat, which is one of the most cancer-causing foods we probably consume, when you're consuming a lot of fat, when you're consuming processed, denatured, unnatural foods that your body isn't adapted to eating, you cause disease. And when you stop eating those foods, your body heals. It's just a natural process. So what happens there is not that you are cured by bananas. What happens is that you stop eating whatever caused your problems to begin with. Your irritable bowel syndrome, your colitis, was caused by what you were putting through your body. What you were putting through your digestive system caused these problems. Now you took them out of your diet and you heal. It's a natural process. If I cut myself in my arm and I stop cutting myself, it will heal. But if I keep cutting myself 3 times a day, you know what? The body's never going to be able to catch up with how often I cut myself, and I'm never going to heal. But it is a process of cutting myself constantly. Diabetes is a process of constantly eating too much fat, constantly causing insulin resistance, constantly causing your body to be in a state of metabolic disorder, you could say. So you don't get diabetes. You do diabetes. You cause diabetes on a daily basis. And once you stop, the diabetes goes away. This is really the case with most diseases. But of course, not all diseases are caused by diet. There's also other factors involved. For example, sleep, Are you getting enough sunshine? Are you getting too much sunshine? Are you hydrated? Toxins in our environment. There's a lot of reasons why people get sick, and not everything is solved by eating a proper diet. But the majority of our problems these days looks like they tend to be related somehow to diet. So what I would recommend here to you, if you have a disease or if you know someone with a disease, don't look at it as a raw vegan diet will heal you. Rather, look at it in this way. Eliminate all the foods of your diet. Because why am I getting these symptoms? Is it the cheese? Is it the milk? Is it the grain products? Is it the meat? What is it? Is it the conservatives? Is it the whatever? What is it? Instead of trying to figure that out, you eliminate all of it. You eliminate all the foods that you're eating, and you're left with nothing. But you have to eat something, obviously. So what's the least problematic food to eat? Well, that's fruit, ripe fruit. And because most people can't access super high quality ripe tropical fruits, the banana is probably then the best option for most people. It's available for everyone. It's easy to digest as long as it's ripe. You can learn more about bananas in our banana book. Click here. But so what I suggest is that you eliminate all the products, all the foods in your diet, and you just live on bananas for a month. Chances are, if you do that, you will heal. Not because of the bananas, but because you're no longer eating whatever caused your problems. And chances are you'll feel so amazing that you want to continue eating fruit afterwards. But if you don't, you could always go back to your former diet. And if you do that, you should do it step by step, method of elimination, slowly taking in one food type at a time. And then you'll notice when your symptoms return, I started eating grains again, my irritable bowel came back, or I started eating lots of butter again, and my diabetes came back. Then you know who's to blame for your diabetes. So there's only one cure, and it's eliminate the cause. That is the cure for all disease, really. And most of our diseases are caused by diet these days. So eliminate your diet, basically, and you're left with nothing but fruit, which happens to be your perfect human species-specific diet anyway. But I'm not going to try and convince you of that. I just want to convince you that you can survive on bananas for a little while. I don't have to say more than that. Go ahead and eat bananas for a couple of weeks. No problem. Anyone can do that. And you will probably see that a lot of your diseases will go away. Some diseases are harder to get rid of than others, but it's still the same process. You have to eliminate the cause and cultivate health. And an important part of health is eating a healthy diet. And a healthy diet is, in my opinion, a fruit diet. An all-fruit diet, essentially. But if we are to compromise a little bit, we could say a high carbohydrate, low-fat, vegan diet based around fruit for the most part. And then, basically. Then you find your other compromises in your own way. But as long as you're basing your diet around fruit mostly, keeping it low in fat, keeping it fresh, keeping it mostly raw or all raw for ideal results, you are on the right track. So as Doug Graham always says, go to health.